Hi, I'm Michael Newrock and welcome to my Forex market analysis for September 13, 2017. I'm going to just stick on the 4 hours this time. It's going to be really short. The reason is we're installing a new super firewall for site protection, and the new authentication software isn't able to connect at the moment because of that installation going on. So rather than not do a video, I just wanted to do this one real quick. So let's get straight into it. Okay, this is the gold chart. We're on the 4 hour on all of these time frames, so all these charts rather. 4 out of 6 high time frames are pointing up. It's still strongly up, and I've been looking at flicking over to the daily time frame for some time now, as I do with all the charts, and this is still in a pretty big upward move for quite some time. If you scroll back, you can see that it's been going pretty much one direction all that time. So I did suggest yesterday that to be wary of shorts and to cover your stops to break even if you could. So right now it's an interesting situation because the MACD is under pressure below the zero line, yet it's pointing up. So there's no sell trade unless we get a swing down. That would change that to red. It would be bidirectional and it may be worth a shot. But for my mind, possibly getting in at a shorter time frame, say the 15-minute even. Right now, you've got about 2,500 pips from a price of gold of 13.31 to around 13.56 in play with a nice small stop. So have a look at it on that time frame. Otherwise, be just cautious for any shorts at the moment. But if they do, then maybe worth a shot if it's a really good swing, and obviously if all the indicators are in agreement. Okay, so Euro, I said the same thing. I was wary of a short because the same as gold, it's been going upward for quite some time. If you scroll back on the daily, it's been in full bloom of a daily trend, as it is in the weekly for quite some time. So I'm always wary of shorts when a pair has been going up for quite some time. It is technically now bidirectional, but if we get a crossover, then it will move to a conservative upward trend trade once again. As with the gold, maybe a 1 hour or 15-minute, you might be able to catch something then. But in my mind, this correction to the downside may not be over with yet, and it hasn't been too strong of an upward move. So just watch what the pair does and act accordingly. Okay, this is the pound. Now I opened this trade last week on Thursday. I think it was the 7th, and actually so I want to just do it at the arrow. Let's try that again. I'm getting a bit of a no response. Sorry about this, guys. Don't know what's... Oh, here we go. Control back. And there we go. Almost. Yeah. Okay, so crosshairs. Currently, I've got 2 pairs in play. The first position here is... has got a stop at 220 pips has been locked in, and this pair or this position is actually following the fast-moving average, whereas the second position is right here, and let's see if I can bring it up, and that you can see the little horizontal line there. That's set at currently about 120 pips. So if you took this trade, congratulations. I was talking about the flip between the euro and the pound. Both of them turned out to continue to be strong, and the pound, although it was running behind the euro, has certainly picked up. So I want to point out these these horizontal lines here, these are, of course, the targets 1, 2, and 3, where the profit locking occurs. So when it hit here, profit locked on the first position. When it surpassed this line, it locked in profits at the second position. And when it broke through here, it locked in, well, actually didn't lock in. What it then did was trigger the activation. So you can activate your trail with different methodologies, but I prefer the moving averages, either the fast or the slow, depending on how you want to trade, and the parabolic star or the slow moving average on the second position, again depending on how you want to trade. So if this takes off, then this parabolic star will start to go as well and lock in more profits. So yeah, I'm really happy with the new version. It's coming out very, very soon. We're just going through the processes, but I'll get it to you guys as soon as possible. Okay, Euro Pound. Euro Pound has been going down for a good while now on the 4-hour, but has been a story of upward moves as well. So right now it's not a time to sell, of course, but not a pair that I'm really looking at currently. Pound Swiss, and I talked about this last week and the week before, of the flip between the Euro Pound and the Pound Swiss. It's happened since then, and the Pound Swiss has remained strong. So the Euro Pound has, it's continued to go down. So while this one's going down, the Pound Swiss is going up and vice versa. So it is now much more stronger. It's 4 out of 6 high time frames are pointing up. But obviously no trade on this particular one at the moment. Okay, so just the gremlins are in the system today, not on Trend Profiteer software, but MetaTrader or something that I'm doing today. Anyway, apologies. Aussie, I said as well that I was very cautious on this one, and it could easily flip to the upside, and it hasn't been a good trade at all. Targets 1, 2, and 3, but hasn't come anywhere near that. These are just on default as I've been testing the new updates. But so this one it is under pressure. If there's a swing down, there could be an opportunity to get in, and that would change it to 4 out of 6 high time frames pointing down as well. So it's overdue for a correction, but at the same time, we had a nice strong move last week. And, I bet there's traders out there that are looking at testing this high. So if it obviously crosses over to, we have another moving average crossover, then it could be certainly a long worth going for. Just watch your risk reward, because it is already pretty high, and then you really want to be aiming for surpassing this level here. Okay, so Kiwi, a story of a pair that's gone from very weak and under pressure to going quite strong. So no trade on it currently, though. Aussie Kiwi, if the Kiwi continues to go strong and the Aussie starts going down, then this would be an obvious pair to look at shorting, and a swing down would actually see it move to 4 out of 6 higher time frames pointing down. Just be aware on this one. You're coming up to this big consolidation here as well. So for myself, the Aussie Kiwi has been going pretty much one direction, that's upwards, for a long time. Again, it's kind of like the gold and euro. It's been daily and weekly trends for quite some time. So I would just be cautious of it. Dollar CAD, it's had a crossover, but still very under pressure, 4 out of 6. So, this hasn't been much of a move at all. And I would really need to see some strong moves upward to, look at any long position on this. This one looks like it's, failing already. But, if it consolidates and then swings up and it changes to at least bidirectional, maybe. But, it's been under pressure a long time. So I think there's more likelihood of it going down again, but no trade really. Dollar Swiss, this is a pending trade that I showed you yesterday, and this is actually a cool feature. When you put in, this is by the the manual trades, when you put in a go long at, which is what we did, and it took out a pending trade, the target levels don't get displayed until the trade gets actioned. So, great for when you've missed a trade. You want to take a manual trade and have it have the trade managed throughout its life cycle automatically. Great new feature, and I'm really happy about the pending trade versions because they work really well with trend trading. We don't have the limit trades in, but that would be more for useful for a price reversal system. But in this trend following system, the buy short and the buy long pending trades via the go long at and go short at manual commands are, I think, going to be really useful. Okay, so this one I think was also another demonstration on the manual pending trades, and so because we came in after this actual alert, so yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the case. So anyway, that was alerted as well, or that was executed. Position 1 here, and position 2 currently locked in here. So position 1 was taken out for quite a few pips. So actually, I'm not going to try the crosshairs because I think something's playing up with my my platform today. So it hit target 1, locked in profits. Converted some equity in the capital in that first position. Second position is still alive. If it moves against me, that's the way it goes. But if it moves in my direction, good chance of hitting the second target. This is actually an interesting point because if you say want to modify a target in your settings for the first or second or both positions, you can do so, and then these targets that are displayed will be shifted. So, for example, if I wanted to move this target down to about here before this high, I could do that on the fly, as we've always been able to do with the trend Profiteer system. But the cool thing is the targets are redisplayed for you at that new level. Okay, so Euro Yen continuing to move up with the strength of the euro. At this stage, you'd want to really look at a correction before you got anywhere near close to it. Pound yen, definitely the trade of the yen crosses. I mean, there was 142.50 odd to 146, close to 50. That's what is that? That's like 400 pips. That's incredible, and never went against you. You could have literally put a stop of 10 or 20 pips that would have been against the system. You would need to normally put your stop below the slow moving average, but there you go. Some trades are easy as this, some trades are hard, but that's trading. Okay, Aussie yen, that's also been strong. Not one that I recommended at the time because of this choppiness, but there you go. Kiwi, I was talking about if we get a strength in the Kiwi, and that did happen after this little correction, and what a correction it was. So congratulations if you caught that trade. CAD yen also moving upward. On all of these yen crosses, they're very similar, and really at this stage, they're difficult to get into. That's why I'm talking about waiting for a correction, and that's why I went for the dollar yen the other day, because it was at least reasonable as far as your risk reward and the amount of pips that you would have had to have placed as well. I figured with all of these other yen crosses moving up quite significantly, or most of them anyway, there was a good opportunity. Plus the trade setup itself looked really good, just to make a point of it. Look how messy that is, and look at the nice bell shape here. A little bit on the far side of the Goldilocks zone, but it is a yen cross, so you can always count on these crosses chewing up more pips required. So back to the Euro Aussie, it's consolidating, and both of them are strong, and that's why we're getting this consolidation on this particular pair, the Euro Aussie. Pound Aussie been a lot more one-sided just recently. upwards. So wait for a correction. I think this is the one to take, particularly with strength in the pound. And again, if you see weakness in the Aussie, this one might be a good one. But again, it's way past its opportunity date. So you would need to wait for that MACD to drift down to the zero line and take the swing up. Euro Kiwi, it's been a bit of a different story, and I'm still resistant on taking shorts on either the Euro Kiwi or the Euro Aussie, but particularly the Euro Kiwi at the moment, because as you can see again, daily and weekly trends are up. We won't change time frames for the reasons I specified before, but the Euro Kiwi has been more unidirectional, with the Kiwi more under pressure out of the two, Aussie and Kiwi. And finally, the pound Kiwi has been continuing to surge. This is an unlucky one, and I talked about musical chairs yesterday, and you don't want to get into a trade like a swing trade, particularly when it's too far away from the inception of the trend. This would be an ideal swing. This one, not so much. And this one, it's, getting crazy from as far as the origination of that trend. So, musical chairs being you run out of chairs and you're the only guy that caught that particular pair going long or going short or whatever it happens to be that lost. And that's because you got in too late. So, you've got to, in trading, just manage your impulses to get in on the trade and take these opportunities, because they come frequently enough, and particularly if you're trading the trend Profiteer style and picking up some decent trades every now and again, like this pound. This is a good one as well. I talk about trade grinding. So think of the piranha. Takes another nibble and another nibble, and sometimes it turns out to be a few bites. But it's about getting in on the pair when the opportunities arise, including this one. This would have been a good swing. It more than likely would have taken you out. This one would have made some decent pips. Probably a loss here, and then a huge one here. And if you get these big ones every now and again, one, you don't have to look for a new trade all the time, or that with that much urgency, and you can just keep on letting the pips roll. If this first position, just to harp on it a little bit more, if this first position gets taken out, I still got the second position, and hey, it may correct, and if it does, it will take out my first position. But there's a good chance that that'll then swing upwards and continue its merry way, break this high or wherever the high is, and go another couple of hundred pips or more, and that's where you benefit in a big way from trading the trend. So with that, I wish you all good trading, live well, and I'll see you soon.